welcome to the world of French football. As Paris Saint-Germain prepare their title celebrations, the rest of the league still has plenty to fight for. From the race for European football to the relegation struggle, the Ligue 1 show brings you the lowdown with just 7 rounds left to play. PSG can clinch the crown if they avoid defeat at second-place Lille on Sunday. We preview the big game. Angers' rising star Jeffrey Adelaide has been making the headlines. We'll introduce you to the talented forward. And there's also an in-depth chat with PSG's long-serving captain and talisman, Thiago Silva.
Vous regardez la Ligue Show.
There's still a soupçon of suspense left in the title race after Paris Saint-Germain dropped points at home for the first time this season last Sunday night. Strikes from Nuno da Costa and Anthony Gonçalves helped Strasbourg claim an impressive 2-2 draw, delaying the title party for a week at least. The capital club weren't the only top side to struggle. Indeed, none of the leading 6 teams won in week 31. Lille drawing away to Reims. Marseille crashing to a 2-0 defeat at Bordeaux, where they still haven't won since 1977. And Saint-Etienne leaving it late to claim a share of the spoils at Amiens through Remy Cabella's goal. The biggest shock of all came in Lyon, though. 3 days after losing at home against Rennes in the French Cup semi-finals, Bruno Genesio's men succumbed again in front of their fans, this time against Dijon. Despite suffering their 7th defeat of the league season, Lyon remain in 3rd place. Now, second place first at the Stade Pierre-Mauroy on Sunday as Christophe Galtier's high-flying Lille bid to inflict just a second away defeat of the season on Thomas Tuchel's men. While the pressure is off for PSG, Lille can ill afford to slip up as the battle for Champions League qualification hots up. Lille are the only side still capable of catching PSG, but in reality, Nicolas Pepe and friends are more focused on trying to hold on to second spot and sealing automatic Champions League qualification than mounting a nigh-on impossible title challenge. Last weekend's 1-1 draw with Reims therefore left the Northerners feeling disappointed as they failed to pull clear from Lyon in 3rd.
We're frustrated because we had the chance to extend our advantage and we've only come away with 1 point.
Lille approached Sunday's summit clash 20 points behind PSG, but 5 above Lyon and 11 above 4th-placed Saint-Etienne. Les Dogs have already amassed 23 more points than in the whole of last season, and while Christophe Galtier knows they face a tough test, he remains relaxed.
We have a rendezvous on Sunday against the best team in the league. If they win, they'll be champions. They'll be deserved champions, and we'll congratulate them if that's the case.
Indeed, even a draw would be good enough to see Paris Saint-Germain crowned for the 2nd season running. And given that Lille haven't won this fixture for 7 years, the visitors will be clear favourites. The last time they beat PSG at home, Eden Hazard was the tormentor-in-chief, scoring from the penalty spot before setting up Nolan Roux to seal a 2-1 win. PSG will be keen to finish the job off after fluffing their lines at the Parc des Princes last weekend. Well played, Alves and Cuckoo! And Choupo-Moting has stopped it! Unbelievable! Choupo-Moting actually stopped that ball on the line. The league leaders might have beaten Strasbourg and clinched the title had Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting not inexplicably stopped Christopher Nkunku's shot from crossing the line. Afterwards, the striker seemed as perplexed as the rest of the stadium.
At first, I thought he was going to pass to me. and he shot. And I thought the defender was going to get there, so I hesitated. I thought maybe that I was offside. It all happened very quickly. I touched the ball, and it hit the post. Yes, it's a shame, because I think the ball was going in.
It would have been 2-1, but he did that. I don't know why.
I'm sorry about that, but we have to keep going and hold our heads up.
With Edinson Cavani, Angel Di Maria and Neymar all sidelined against Strasbourg and Kylian Mbappe starting the game on the bench, Paris lacked their usual cutting edge. Indeed, it was only after Mbappe had come on for the final 30 minutes that the defending champions posed a consistent threat. Yet Thomas Tuchel insists he had little choice but to give the league's top scorer a breather. Everybody is surprised that he was on the bench. Listen, he played 9 games in a row. I have to protect my players. The good news for PSG is that Neymar is on his way back to full fitness. The Brazilian returned to training last week after 3 months out with a broken metatarsal. Although Neymar is unlikely to feature at Lille, Angel Di Maria could return.
Last week, Paris witnessed a very special meeting, as perhaps the greatest footballer of all time met the most exciting rising star in the world game. 3 times a World Cup winner with Brazil, Pelé was only too happy to get to know his potential successor, Kylian Mbappe.
Everybody knows full well there's only one Pelé. I'm just Kylian. I try to do my best to help my club and my country. The comparisons are very flattering, but I know I'll never be able to do what he did. Football has given me so many opportunities to realise my dreams, and even to experience things I hadn't dared dream of, and this meeting is one of them. I'm very proud and happy to be here.
Ligue 1's top scorer knows he has got some work to do to emulate the master.
How many goals do you score? Until now?
92.
92, then a lot. To get it, second level. I hope to get there. Until 1,000, it's okay. Because I have 1,025. Then until 1,000, it's okay.
I'm a long way off. I'll try to close the gap as much as I can, but it's a tall order.
A defending world champion, Mbappe could win his 3rd straight league title this weekend. He's already made giant strides, but the PSG ace insists he's not obsessed with becoming the world's best.
He has quality, for this, but sometimes depend of him. Depending of a lot of things. It's difficult to say what's going to happen tomorrow.
When he used to play, he didn't say he wanted to be the best player in history. He just tried to enjoy himself and help his club and country, like I'm doing. I just want to help PSG, help the France team, and then it's up to others to say if you're the best or not. Other people told him that he's the best, so it's not something that I should be thinking about.
But does Pelé have any advice for his young French protégé?
He don't need, for football, don't need. I just told him to be a good boy, nice person. That's my advice.
I think he said it all.
2 goals and 1 assist against Rennes saw Jeffrey Adelaide hit the headlines in France with a sparkling man-of-the-match display last weekend.
La tête et l'égalisation de Jeffrey Adelaide!
I was delighted, and I think even my teammates were pleased for me.
We're so happy for him. He's been waiting for that since arriving.
It's the reward for the work I've put in, so I want to thank my teammates and the coaching staff. They've believed in me all along.
À tous mes coéquipiers, au staff, parce qu'ils ont toujours été derrière moi.
Until that performance last weekend, Rennes Adelaide had done just about everything but score in an Angers shirt. Despite his considerable height, the French under-21 international is blessed with a sense of balance that allows him to dance past defenders at will. Quick, athletic and not lacking in self-belief, his surges forward have given Angers real bite, as they have surged towards Ligue 1 safety themselves.
When you've got a real technician like Jeff in your team, well, it helps you to keep possession. We're all enjoying our football. I think the fact we're almost safe now is helping us to express ourselves. We're really showing our potential.
3 years at Arsenal before moving back to his natal France helped turn Rennes Adelaide into the key member of Angers' attacking setup he is now. If the scoring touch he discovered last weekend is here to stay, Stéphane Moulin may have one of the men to look out for next season on his books. He's got real quality. Now he's being rewarded for his efforts. It's good for him and great for us.
I hope it's just the start.
Salut, c'est Alexander Djikou, voici ma Ligue 1.
It's not hard because I've only scored one goal, and I admit it wasn't a pretty one. It brought us back to 1-1, but unfortunately we conceded at the end and we lost, so I couldn't really celebrate as I would have liked. Last season, when we got a draw against PSG on the final match day to secure our top flight status. Without that, we would have been in the playoffs because we knew Toulouse were winning. We played well and we got the point. We stayed up, everybody was happy. It was a fantastic moment, there were fireworks and everything. Going down with Bastia. Experiencing relegation is really tough. You feel like you've wasted your season. All the work you've put in, it's all for nothing because you're going down to Ligue 2. You know that people will lose their jobs because of that and the club will suffer. It's definitely my worst memory. Saint-Maximin. He has so much quality, it's unbelievable. These days he plays for Nice, and while they're a very, very good club, I think he can play at an even higher level. He has so much ability. Gaël Kakuta. He nutmegged me once in a game against Amiens. I was really impressed with him. I can understand why Chelsea bought him. He remains a really good player. Enzo Crivelli. We played together at Bastia and we're reunited now at Caen. He's a guy who's always in a good mood, he just loves life, and I like that kind of person. So I'd say Enzo is the person I get on best with.
In week 32 of the 2005-2006 season, Hugo Lloris made just his second Ligue 1 appearance. But it wasn't the future World Cup winning captain who would make the headlines, as Bordeaux welcomed Nice to the southwest. It was another World Cup winner, Brazilian Denilson, who, when poking past Lloris after just 11 seconds of play, scored the second quickest goal in the history of the French top flight.
His towering presence at the back for the last 7 seasons has made Paris Saint-Germain defender Thiago Silva one of the emblematic faces of the capital club. And now the captain of the Rouge et Bleu has a red, white and blue passport to go with it, receiving his French citizenship last month.
I never thought I'd be French one day. I've been here for 7 years now, and I never really imagined that. It's great for me though, because if you are still here, it means you're doing a good job, because you still have the confidence of the club and the president. And it's also great for me to see my children like this, with a French passport. They speak French, English and Portuguese. It's extraordinary to be able to do this for your children.
C'est quelque chose d'extraordinaire que je peux faire pour mes enfants.
When you've lived here for 7 years, when you are immersed in the French culture, for me personally, I really feel French. Even if I was born in Brazil and I play for Brazil, I feel French. I joked with Kylian and Presnel the other day, saying, if this had happened a year earlier, I'd be world champion with you.
Since joining in 2012, the Parisian skipper has played 278 games. He's already PSG's longest-serving captain and is now closing in on the club's top 10 appearance makers.
Paris Saint-Germain represents a lot in my life. I love being here. I love playing in this shirt. And I'm captain, which makes it all the more special. I spent 3 years at Fluminense, 3.5 years at Milan. Now it's nearly 7 here. A lifetime for a footballer and something extraordinary in my career.
Thiago Silva may be 34, yet he's returned to his brilliant best this season. The Brazilian's style of defending isn't necessarily eye-catching, but it's certainly effective. His ability to read the play and anticipate, ensuring he doesn't necessarily need to make as many tackles as others.
I feel even stronger now. I think this has been one of my best seasons yet. I'm very happy with the way the campaign has gone so far. With experience, you try and read what your opponent will do before he does it. They have the possibility to play the ball in behind me or not. You have to anticipate what's going to happen. To have the chance to share this with Marquis and Presco is magnificent. When you're young, you have strength, like Presnel, who's ready for combat because he's so strong. Marquinhos too, same thing. But with experience, 27, 28 years old, They will get better at anticipating. They will see that they don't have to fight every time to win the ball back. You begin to understand what the player with the ball is going to do. That's very important for me, because I feel I don't need to tackle. When I was young, a coach told me something I've never forgotten. A central defender should never find himself on the ground. It's always better to be on your feet, to try and take the ball on your feet. Because even if you don't win it back, you can try again. But if you're on the ground, I often say to Marco, don't tackle, but he never listens. Even if for me he tackles a lot, he always wins back a lot of the ball. He's a very intelligent footballer, and sometimes he doesn't need to tackle, but he keeps on doing it. That's just Marco. That's the way he is. He's an extraordinary player who does incredible things for the team. That's why I call him the little phenomenon. Ligue 1 is not an easy league. Nobody does you any favours. Our opponents are always at 100%. I often think that if every team played the way they play against us, against each other, they could be a lot higher up the table. Perhaps that's the difference at this highest level. Because we have to be at our very best every game. Because when we lose, the pressure is incredible. That's why we try and prepare as well as possible for every single game, with plenty of respect for our opponents. And that's why we keep winning. I'm happy about that, because this season every player has been present in every game, and that's why I think that this season has been different to all the others.
That's almost all we've got time for this week. The Ligue 1 action resumes this Friday night when Nantes play host to Lyon at the Stade de la Beaujoire. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.
Brillant. L'appel tranchant de Nicolas Depréville, servi face à Camara. Depréville qui va pouvoir frapper et qui va pouvoir marquer!
Attention à la réaction quand même avec Tavares, avec Wesley Saïd pour l'égalisation, ça fait un partout. Cabella à l'entrée, il va pouvoir déclencher, non, voilà, le 1-2, pardon, avec Kadri, Cabella, et l'égalisation de Rémi Cabella. C'est pas derrière. Oh, Anthony Gonçalves qui envoie un véritable missile Colasso.
Ben Arfa, balle au pied, un joueur, deux joueurs, éliminer la série de crochets d'Adem Ben Arfa, c'est magnifique, il poursuit son effort, l'appui, le relais d'Mbaye Niang, Adem Ben Arfa à la conclusion, quelle action splendide